Okay, now we get to arguably an even more exciting fight just because of the drama that's been brewing. And I know you guys I know, Justin, you've trained with Merab. I assume, Oscar, you have too at Extreme Couture. But we've seen Merab really develop a hatred, it seems like, for Umar Nurmagomedov for some reason. And he's even said, when talking about the injury that Umar's talked about, that broken arm that people were concerned might jeopardize the fight, saying that he's BSing and he doesn't believe that that's actually a truthful injury. So that's actually adding some fuel to the fire for somebody like me who does get into the drama. But just from the stylistic standpoint, this fight is very intriguing as well. Justin, let me turn it over to you first, and then we'll go to Oscar. What are your thoughts of this fight? How do you see it unfolding?
Merab's the champ. He went in there, did to Sean O'Malley what he said he was going to do. A lot of people didn't think he was going to be able to take him down and hold him down. Can Merab hold that pace for 5 rounds against an incredible wrestler and against an incredible grappler? That's what's really going to be told the truth. Now, the difference between this fight to his past fights is he's really emotional about this fight. He's been getting angry. He's been lashing out, and that's just very uncharacteristic. I can't think of any other time, even with the Sean O'Malley buildup, like they were making videos, poking fun at each other. But at the end of the day, he seemed focused the whole time. And against Umar right now, I don't know, man. I have a weird feeling about it. I am taking Merab. He is what I guess I'll say is my teammate per se. But something I have a weird feeling about it. Just with this buildup, I think Merab's a little nervous, man. He's going against somebody that's good at where he's, because he has not faced anybody.
Is that Mackenzie Dern's dog?
Shit. Yeah, Mackenzie's in the back. But he hasn't faced anybody like Umar before. Go lay down. That can really try to match his pace and match his style. So I think it's an interesting matchup. Like I said, with him getting overly emotional and upset during some of the pressers and during some of the trash talks really concerns me. But I can't go against the champ.
Yeah, and I'll just throw out, before, Oscar, I throw it back over to you, I rewatched the Corey Sandhagen fight against Umar. God, I just think Umar's striking is on another level in addition to everything else, every other aspect of his game. So, but Oscar, let me turn it over to you, and then I'll give my thoughts at the end.
It's a weird one, right? Because I like Merab too, but as Justin said, like it's alarming how emotional he gets. Like the press conference he did with Umar, like fucking Umar wasn't saying anything. And even Umar, in fact, what I actually think made it worse for Merab is like Umar would say calmly, well, tell me what I said that has upset you so much. And Merab couldn't really give him an answer. I think it's just like his existence seems to just affect him. And Umar did say in an interview, which I thought was interesting, that Merab knew he had a way to victory against O'Malley. Like, let's be fair. And he knew against PDN there was a way to victory there. I think Merab can beat Umar, but I wonder if maybe Merab finds seeing that route to victory a little bit harder, and it's the first time he's really felt that way.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some nerves there, to the point of I think it should affect people's decision on how they view the fight. In terms of the fight itself, Merab's weapon is his cardio, but actually, if you go back and look at like his fights, he couldn't really get Aldo down. He shot 100 takedowns on PDN, but never really held him down. He just kept shooting, and that was his weapon. O'Malley, he had more success. But if you look at the wrestling of Umar, like, I think Merab won't just be able to spam his way to win on this one. I think he's going to have to really aggressively chase a finish. I don't think he'll be able to hold Umar down. I think it's going to be, the scrambles are going to be electric for the first few rounds at least. And there's an argument, right? If Merab goes in there on edge and then finds success early on, maybe that settles him. He feels like, oh, I am fighting a human. And then suddenly he just gets into it and almost fights with more confidence than he would have. Or it could go the other way. Does he go in there, shoot a takedown, get stuffed right off the bat, and then start freaking out and just, it's an interesting one. And much more than the main event, this is one of the fights you look at and be like, there's a lot of mental aspects at play here. So that's interesting too. I think if Merab starts freaking out at the press conference on Thursday again, I think that would be like a bit of cause for concern at that point. You'd sort of be a bit like, Jesus, dude, what's going on?
When you bring up those past fights, that makes me feel even more strongly that I do think Umar's going to get it done. Of course, it could go either way, and this is MMA, and that's why we love this sport. But I do feel when you look at the technical advantages that Umar has, plus this bizarre mental issue in terms of Merab seeming to have a lot of anger, I'm leaning towards Umar personally. Of course, you guys are much more expert on this front, but that's what I'm feeling. I will say one last thing. According to Javier Mendez, I don't know if this is 100% true, but I believe it probably is. Imagine if Umar and Islam both win, they will, I believe it will be the first time in the history of the UFC that you have cousins holding simultaneous belts in the UFC, which is also another potential historic. I mean, it's crazy. This event is completely insane. If people aren't aware, or maybe people are new to the sport, it's completely wild. Just a quick thing. We do have a comment from M Gal4 Productions for Oscar. He said, Oscar, when's the next pub talk with Dan?
A lot of those are recorded and never get to be published, to be honest with you. There's quite a few in the back end that never saw the light of day. Obviously, the Gaethje Hooker thing, I may have heard about that, a while ago. So I'll probably, listen, there's a strong chance he'll be here in March. We'll leave it at that. So you'll probably get one. Oh, I don't know, maybe pay-per-view fight week, potentially, maybe, who knows? But yeah, I think there's a good chance.